Let's talk about SEO in 2020. Let's go. What is happening? Let's dive right into this. And the ironic thing is, if you can see this, August 12th, 2019. This is hilarious. This just popped up in my Google news feed, and what I do is I browse these blog posts and read the headlines essentially. So I didn't actually read the blog post, but the headlines were excellent, and I think they missed one thing, but a lot of the stuff was absolutely golden advice. So I wanted to make a video on it real quick. Before I X out of this pop-up, like, you may think these pop-ups are super annoying, as I do, but they're effective. So you may want to consider doing this to get people on your email list. If you're watching a lot of my videos, I'm talking about how important these email lists are, but I mean, it is a free way to turn potential clients into clients and upsell existing clients and just provide value, request reviews, all of this kind of stuff. So highly recommend that you consider looking into MailChimp and get on their free plan and learn it. And you may want to eventually switch to something like Sendinblue or ConvertKit, or I don't even know what all these other ones are called. I'm just using MailChimp because I've been using it for so many years, and it really is pretty robust, especially once you get on the paid plan. But these pop-ups are something to consider, even though they are really annoying. You could have it just pop up from the top or slide up from the bottom or the corner or whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of options where it doesn't have to be in your face, where you can't, like, literally, I can't move anything until I X out of here. But that's it. So this is actually a little dated, which is hilarious because it's very relevant, in my opinion, from everything that I know. And I mean, all I really do is look into website design and SEO these days, and ads. But snippets dominate the more search clicks. I don't agree with the title there, but yeah, they're exactly right. Like, I do this a lot myself. I'll do a Google search and I will literally not click on a single line item. I simply grab the information I needed. Google is so good these days that they're just like, hey, this is what you're looking for, and I may need to click more items or something like that. But a lot of times it's just right here in this, I forget what exactly this is called, either a knowledge panel or FAQ box, or I don't know. Google has so many different little things they can throw in the search results, but 0 clicks. So if you can get some authoritative information on common searches, you can potentially be, at the very top of Google for free, and people don't even need to click on your stuff, and you're providing value, which can eventually lead to them doing business with you, which would just be awesome. Influencers should be leveraged for SEO. So I don't even understand what they're talking about here. I don't think it really applies to most of the people that are watching my video, so I'm not going to discuss this. I'm going to replace this with, you should have your technical SEO right, like from alt tags to H tags to file sizes to all that kind of technical SEO stuff. Like, I think that is very important, and they completely left that off this list. So that was the one thing that was left off this list that I think is actually very valuable, and you should definitely whip your technical SEO into shape and grab this SEO Quake plugin right here. It's a Chrome plugin, and it will really help you show you where you're lacking on the technical SEO side very quickly and easily. Websites must be secure. Yes, I mean, this has been a thing for a long time now. So your website 100% needs to be secure in 2020. You can see right here, this website is secure. So if your website's not secure, this is going to be like unlocked, or it could possibly be like a red X. Like, it does not look good. It makes you not look like a reputable company. People are going to have a big red flag, and like me, I'm probably going to bounce from your website if I see that. Optimize for voice search. You probably are doing this in some way, shape, or form. I personally don't have an Alexa or a Google Home or anything like that, but I do talk into my Pixel by hitting the little microphone icon. So optimize your website for voice search, and I didn't really get any solid information out of. I did read this section, didn't get any solid information out of this, but from other research I have done, what is fueling voice search, in my opinion, is schema markup. So look into schema markup. If you have a WordPress site, there's all kinds of plugins that will do schema markup for you for free. And if you Google schema markup generator, you can just enter the values you need and it'll spit out the code that you need to slap on your website. So schema markup is very, very important for numerous reasons, and voice search is the newest one. And so few websites are using it, it is not even funny. If we built your website, you 100% have all the schema markup you should have. And yeah, so it makes a really big difference. Mobile UX. So obviously, more and more people are just on their phone, surfing the web. So many people do not have a computer these days. So your website 100% has to look great on mobile, like to the point where it almost needs to look better on mobile than it does on the desktop. So your desktop version of your website should 100% not be exactly the same as your mobile version. I mean, at the very minimum, everything that's like going across the screen on desktop is going to stack on top of each other on a mobile screen. So you're gonna wanna make sure that spacing is correct and all that kind of stuff, and just make sure, how people are holding their phone in their hand, that it is a very good user experience navigating your website. So that is a great point right there. Video as a source of information. I can vouch for video 100%. I just put out a ton of videos on websites and SEO and ads and all this kind of stuff, and I picked up probably literally 10 to 15 clients in the past 2 weeks. So if you're not making videos, start making videos ASAP. The way you want to do that is to get the most value out of them, at least for most cases, especially small businesses. Upload them to YouTube, fully optimize the title of the video, the description, and the tags, and all that kind of stuff. Make sure your channel is set up with everything that it's supposed to have on the back end, and then potentially embed that on the appropriate page of your website. Google owns YouTube, so they love when you use YouTube. When you embed those videos on your website, it's just 100%, hey, this is, this is from this website, this is their content, all this stuff. They love it. And this is something that I've been mentioning to a lot of people on an individual basis. Click-through rate and dwell time will become important ranking factors. So one thing you can do with absolutely no technical knowledge of how the internet works or anything is simply ask your friends and family, and you can even kind of do it yourself, but like search for your website, not your website name, but your service, your product, whatever you're doing, and the city, your area, your service area. Search for that in Google, and then go through the search results until you find your website. So say you're on page 7, go all the way to page 7. You know how few times people go to page 7 on Google? It is hardly ever. So when you go to page 7 on Google and click on your link, and then your mom does, your dad does, your brother does, your cousin does, your friend does, handful of other people do, ask people on Facebook to help you out, and just go visit your website. But it's more than visit your website. You don't want them to visit your website and then click the back arrow instantly. That's called a bounce. Bounces are obviously not good. They don't sound good. They're not good. So what you want them to do is get on your website, view the home page for, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds, maybe up to 2 minutes. Click on whatever page they want to go to next. View that page. Maybe have them go to the reviews page. Maybe go to contact us. Ask them to fill out the contact form. Ask them to click the call on mobile. Google is literally tracking all this stuff, and they want to put the websites that people like by, then people like Google assumes people like websites when they click on them in the search listings, and then they stay on that website for an extended period of time. Doesn't have to be a long period of time, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then click something. They take some kind of action. So that is just something that I think a lot of guys are just completely missing the boat. Like, you can so help yourself out by just asking your friends and family to go to your website and surf around and click on things, fill out forms, all that kind of stuff. Like, it is just a no-brainer. Like, please do that. Do that over the winter here, and next spring, your website is going to magically be higher up in the search results, and you don't have to do anything technical or nothing. It's amazing. High quality content. So yes, there's just so much freaking content on the internet these days. If you're going to be putting out content on the internet, I highly recommend that you make sure it is good and is going to provide value to the reader. This goes back into dwell time. If you're making high quality content, people are going to stick around to read it. They're going to stay on your site longer. It also goes back to video. If you have a video on your site and it's a 7-minute video, they're going to be on your site for 7 minutes if they watch that video. So there are services that will write you a 500-word blog post for as cheap as, say, I don't know, 12 bucks or something ridiculously cheap. It's going to be a garbage piece of content, super generic. It's not going to provide value to anybody, and nobody's going to care, including Google. So if you're going to actually build out content on your site, this can be just the words on the actual pages of your website, or like I've said a million times, start a blog, write on topics that would provide value to the people that would use your service or buy your product. Genius stuff. Very, very simple to do. Users demand excellent digital experience. So I think this is talking about page load speed. So obviously this is going to be over the head of many average small business owners on how do you speed up your website. But just real briefly, get with a better host. You could just swap your hosting over to us and be on our Amazon dedicated server. Obviously, we're not going to have your single website on dedicated server, so it's going to be more like a VPS. If you check out the pricing on VPS hosting, ours is like the cheapest out, and it is excellent. We are getting our newer sites that have been completely optimized. I'd love to go back and do this to the ones I've built in the past, but our newer sites are loading in 2.2 to 2.7 seconds, and it is just a super great thing for me. You want it to be under 4 seconds, and if it's over 4 seconds, there's a really good chance that people aren't even going to stick around to wait for your website to load, and they're going to go back to the search results, and that is going to be a huge bounce. Content length matters. So going back to saying, I just said you could have somebody write you a blog post for like 12 bucks, 500 words. Well, guess what? It's not good enough. Okay, it's not good enough. If you're going to write a blog post, make sure it is over 2,000 words at the bare minimum. You want to try to make it 2,500 words or so. And really, you don't want to go over that potentially. If you do make a super authoritative blog post and it provides a lot of value, then it makes sense to go over this. But 2,500 or so words is a lot of words, and guess what? It looks like roughly 20. If you go over 2,300 words on your post, like that's what is getting in the top 5 positions of Google. So that's pretty black and white evidence. Write a long, whatever blog post. And then artificial intelligence. I have no idea what this is talking about. Yeah, so I don't know. This is over my head. I'm not sure what's going on here. And then the use of other search engines. So if you go do a search on Google for your business, and you're like, I'm on first page of Google. You're like, great, go to Bing. You may not be on Bing at all. Bing is a completely different animal, and when it comes to small business, people looking for small businesses, Bing is number 2. This right here, if you've never heard of this, DuckDuckGo is on the come up. They've been on the come up for a long time. They are gaining market share. More and more people are searching on DuckDuckGo because of how they protect your privacy and all this kind of stuff. I personally don't care. Google can know whatever they want to know about me, and that's that. But do the searches on the other search engines, and then find those sites that are ranking higher than you and find out why. And if you're on Bing, you're going to notice the ones that are ranking higher than you probably have more Yelp reviews and have more Facebook reviews. So I've said all along, Google is the #1 place where you get reviews, and then second and third, swap them out however you want, Yelp and Facebook. So that, I believe, wraps it up. That's the conclusion. So I hope that provided value to you. But I mean, this is just exactly what you need to do. This is all the information I've been consuming for the past, God knows how many years. You know, I've really been dedicated to, you know, getting my stuff to rank on the internet. Go ahead and do a search for a ProSlide XT and tell me the first page of Google is not just freaking plastered with lawn crack stuff, because we dominate the search for the ProSlide XT. I believe we're the largest online dealer for Novacore when it comes to the ProSlide. We may be their, you know, largest dealer that they have for ProSlide and GoSlide stuff. Probably not GoSlide, we don't sell too many of those, but ProSlides, like, obviously I'm a big fan of the ProSlide, and we absolutely dominate the search because I have all kinds of content on my website about it, in blog posts, on the product pages, and then obviously a slew of YouTube videos. So it just ties right back in to all of this stuff right here. Yeah, man. So it is 2020 and we are building websites as fast as we possibly can. We're onboarding SEO clients, and we'd love to work with you too. I am expanding my team. My family members are joining my team. It's awesome. I got my brother coming on board this weekend. I got my girl in Mississippi is really doing awesome work these days. She has really come a long way from when I hired her like 2 years ago. And yeah, my dad's about to retire and join my internet building team, and Amy always helps out. Amy's been helping out, and I also have Noah and Ivan. But Noah and Ivan are super duper smart kids, and they're kind of a little above me. So I reach out to them when I get stuck, and they help me, and then they send me a bill, and I say, thanks, I couldn't have done that without you guys. But like Noah, for example, he got like recruited by GE. He's been at GE for a while now. I believe it's just an internship, but obviously between him majoring in 2 or 3 things and interning at GE essentially full time as much as he possibly can. I don't exactly know. I have not been able to use Noah as nearly as much as I would like, but Ivan has certainly been helping me out, especially with some of the technical JavaScript type stuff, jQuery, these DNS things that throw me for a loop. So I have a team that is ready to help your business succeed online, and we are growing and we're getting better, and we're onboarding more clients, and we're getting more analytic data to reference. We're working with companies outside of the lawn and landscape niche. Like, it is just freaking awesome. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. It's what I've been working toward for a long time. So it is what it is. Hopefully I'll put this link in the description of the video, and if you want to go, look into it more, dive into this and see exactly what they're talking about. And yeah, any of this kind of stuff, there's a million YouTube videos on every single one of them. Check out like Ignite Visibility, Neil Patel, the Deep End Design. Those guys are absolute experts, and there's a bunch that I failed to mention right there, but those 3 YouTube guys are excellent. Yeah, man. So until the next video, you already know, keep making money.